Hi guys, welcome to my day in the life video. I am a type 1 diabetic and I follow a very low carbohydrate diet in order to keep my blood sugars stable and steady. Now this is especially important because I'm pregnant right now with my first baby, and I actually started this diet in order to get my A1Cs down so that I could have a healthy pregnancy. Some things I want to say before we get into the video. I want to clarify that I've been diabetic now for going on 16 years, and for at least the first 10 of those, my blood sugars were not good. I mean, I had high blood sugars all the time, and for the first 10 years I was diabetic, the best A1C I ever had in my life was a 6.8, and I thought to myself, 6.8 when that happened, that this is the best. I'll never be able to get it lower than this. So like, if that gives you some idea, normally my A1Cs were in the 7s and occasionally in the 8s. So I just want to clarify that I have been there. I've done that. Also, I was on the insulin pump for those 10 years. Now, my change in lifestyle happened about 5 years ago when I read Dr. Bernstein's book, Diabetes Solution. I have a video that goes more into detail on that, and I'll link that down below. But basically his main tenet was to eat a low carbohydrate diet. He's a type 1 diabetic himself, and he found this method as a way to normalize his own blood sugars, and then he shared it with his patients. So anyway, you're about to see a day in the life of what it looks like to eat an incredibly low carbohydrate diet. Keep in mind, I am in my first trimester of pregnancy when I filmed this, so now I'm actually almost in my third. So I filmed a couple months ago when I was in my first trimester, and my appetite wasn't great. So especially the dinner that I eat in this video that you're about to see, it's not the way I eat now. That was back when I had like hardly any appetite due to the pregnancy. So that's one thing. The other thing I want to explain is that the way my diet and regimen works is that I only eat 3 times a day. I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I take injections of Levemir long-acting insulin in the morning when I wake up, at nighttime before I go to bed, and then I wake up at 3 in the morning every night to check my blood sugar and give myself another shot of Levemir. So I take 3 shots of Levemir, and then I take R, regular insulin, before each meal. The reason I take R instead of Humalog is because since I don't eat basically any carbohydrate, the Humalog is way too intense and it makes my blood sugar go down. So the R works better for a very low carbohydrate diet because it stays in your system longer and it doesn't have such a like crazy spike, so it doesn't like make you really low. So that's why I use R. You'll also notice that I check my blood sugar before every meal I eat and then also 2 hours after. So those are just a couple things I wanted to mention. This is the first day in the life video I've done, so if you have any questions or clarifications or anything, leave them in the comments down below so that when I film an updated day in the life, I can take your comments into consideration and make the next video better. I know that this one could be improved, but it was the first one I did, so I at least wanted to get something out there. Also, stay tuned at the end of the video. I'm going to just explain a couple things that you saw in the video in more detail if you're interested, but I'm going to save that to the end so that I don't ramble on too much here. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy my day in the life, and here we go. Alright, here I am taking my morning blood sugar reading. You can see I was 73 this morning. So next thing I'm going to do is take my 2 morning time shots. I've got my Levemir, which is my basal rate, and my R, regular insulin, that will cover my breakfast. That's what that is right there. And then I'm taking half of a glucose tab, so two grams of glucose to fix my 73 blood sugar. And then I always start my morning out with a cup of regular black tea. This is my one caffeinated beverage that I've been indulging in during pregnancy. It's got about 30 mg's of caffeine. That is my kale shake that I always have with breakfast. It's got 6 grams of carb and like 4 grams of protein, and it just gives me like a veggie side. And then my holy grail breakfast is always 3 scrambled eggs. So here I am scrambling up my 3 eggs. I'm about to cook those. And again, I always have that with my kale shake. And I also throw in some wheatgrass juice powder into my kale shake. So it's the 3 eggs plus my kale shake and wheatgrass. All right, this part, sorry if it's a little gross. I like eating my scrambled eggs with soy sauce. I don't know if any of you guys do that, but I find it delicious and it really livens up the plain scrambled eggs. Okay, so this is my post breakfast blood sugar. I usually take it about 2 hours after I eat to make sure that I'm on track. I like to keep my blood sugar under 100 as much as possible. So this one, 96, not bad, pretty good. And then I will go about my day for the next couple hours until lunch. And now here I am taking my pre-lunch blood sugar before I give myself insulin, so I know what's going on. And this one is 91, so I will now take my insulin, that is R, so regular insulin. And here's my lunch. Today I'm doing tuna salad with sauerkraut and a plate of lettuce. And I'll show you what I do with this. So there's the tuna salad made. It's also got little bits of celery cut up in there. And then the side of sauerkraut you can see. And what I do with the lettuce is that I make like lettuce boats, and instead of bread, you know, you can still have tuna salad on something, and it's really crunchy, it's really tasty, and look at all those greens that you're getting with lunch. So I love that. Here I am taking my post-lunch blood sugar. I was feeling kind of low after this lunch. And my blood sugar is 51, which will require a correction using glucose. I'm going to take 6 grams of glucose, so that would mean 1.5 tablets. You can see that's what I'm doing here. So that was the 1, and then there's the half, and then that should bring me up right around my target and avoid a rebound effect. Here I am checking my blood sugar before dinner so that I can give my shot. And remember, I had that correction a couple hours ago for the 51. So my blood sugar is now 101, which is pretty good. You can see you don't get those massive rebounds with glucose. Taking my dinner time shot. And then for dinner today, I decided to record what I was doing. So this is zucchini and celery that I'm steaming. A big pot of it. I'm going to make soup. So you add water, you steam it until it gets nice and soft, which it is at this point. And then I add a whole bag of frozen green beans. I'm basically just adding a bunch of veggies and really yummy things. And the result is this mineral-rich, really filling, really satisfying vegetable soup. So there I am steaming the green beans with the rest of those veggies. And then once those get softened a bit, I'm going to add some more good stuff. That is fresh garlic and fresh ginger. The ginger really adds a lot to this. And then I'm adding about a 1/4 cup of freshly chopped parsley. The parsley is also delicious in this. And again, just add as much green stuff as you can. Moisten it all down with like the water, get it soft. And then once all that's been combined and it's nice and soft, you can blend it up. So I'm just letting the garlic and ginger soften up a bit there. And then I take my immersion blender, which you see right there, and just blend it up. That is Himalayan pink sea salt and some chili pepper to add some spice. I'm blending that in as well for some seasoning. And then the secret ingredient is like a tablespoon of coconut oil, which really sets the dish off. This is a really delicious soup, and it's really, really healthy. I love this soup. On this particular day, I did not have a very big appetite. This was filmed during my first trimester, so I just decided to have the vegetable soup with some deviled eggs. I am boiling some eggs up there. You can see I added the eggs after the water's already boiling. That's a little trick to make it easier to peel them, and you'll see what I mean. So 12 minutes boiling, and then you run cold water. Now check this out. This is the result you get from putting the eggs in after the water's already boiling. Super easy to peel. So I don't always eat this light, guys, but I really didn't have a big appetite this evening, and that was my meal. I had deviled eggs, 2 string cheeses, and the vegetable soup. That vegetable soup is really healthy. And then here I am taking my nighttime blood sugar before bed. You can see it's 74, which is perfect. And then I'm going to take my glucose to bring it up just a little bit to get it around 80s. And then I take my nighttime 11. Okay, so that ends my first day in the life video. But here's what I really wanted to do before I say goodbye. For breakfast, I mentioned that I have a kale shake every morning with wheatgrass in it. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about what this is. For a couple years, I had a lot of issues with digestion and intestinal upset, and I wonder how much of it was because of the drastic change in diet, like when I went low carb. I want to be completely honest about this. There are some negative side effects of going completely low carb, and it takes your body time to adjust. Once it does, then you're cool, and once you find like ways of making it work for you, then it's good. But for me, one of the things I experienced when I changed my diet so drastically was an upset in, intestinal things. So I did a lot of searching, a lot of research, and I came across this bulletproof solution that just seemed to solve all of my digestional issues. And what that was the kale shake. So here is the kale shake. It's a powder, and it's created by this chiropractor, actually, who his name is Dr. Berg, and he has a YouTube channel as well. It's actually how I found out about this. He's really into nutritional things and supplements and stuff like that. And this kale shake, once I introduced it into my diet, my system just got so much better. Like, as long as I take this regularly, I have such, I don't want to get into too many details, but it solved all my problems. And then the other thing that is just as important, or maybe even more important, was this wheatgrass juice powder is what it's called, and it's a superfood. Again, this is Dr. Berg's brand. It's organic. It's a really good source, so you know that it's not contaminated with mold or anything. Sometimes wheatgrass, you gotta be careful with the source you get. So again, Dr. Berg's brand. And these two things, they're both the powder, and I mix it with water and just a little bit of cream to make it feel like a milkshake. And that's what I have every single morning with my eggs. And the reason I do that is because it just makes my whole system move super smoothly. The kale shake has, only 4 grams of carbs. I said 6 in the video. 4 grams of carbs per serving and 6 grams of protein. So that is pretty friendly to a low carb diet. And then the wheatgrass has 1 gram of carbohydrate per serving. So these are both really low carb things, and at least for me, it helped my digestion. So just wanted to clarify those things in case you were wondering what the heck I meant by kale shake. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video, and like I said, I would really like to film an updated day in the life so that you can see a little bit more of what I'm eating now, especially now that my appetite's back and I'm starting my 3rd trimester of pregnancy. If there's anything, like, I don't get any feedback from myself on these videos, so without your feedback, I can't improve them. So if there's something you noticed about the video that was unclear, or something I could do differently, maybe make a little bit more clear in the next one, let me know, and I'll take your suggestions into mind the next time that I do a day in the life video. So until then, good luck with everything, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!